So if you want to follow along with this tutorial, you can just copy up this node structure and click the buttons and come over here to layout and give your buttons a minimum width of 300 pixels so that they're slightly longer. And of course, attach a script to your control node and attach signals. So because I want this to be a very short tutorial, I already created the node structure so I can get directly to scripting. So in the script, what you'll want to have is, of course, the data you want to save. This can be the user's configurations or the player's data, or maybe other data that you might want to save. So, and then once you have the data, you also want to have the path that you're going to be saving. So for this path, the extension really doesn't matter. This can be something like .json, or some people use .save, and others might even, you can even give the file a custom extension. The extension really doesn't matter. That's why I'm using .txt, because all of them are basically just text files. What really does matter in this path is this directory over here. The reason I'm using the user directory and not the resources folder, this one over here, is because when the project is running, this resources folder will be read only, so you won't be able to write anything onto it. You'll only be able to read stuff or to load. So you'll have to save your data over here in an external folder, and this user directory is different for every OS and every device probably. So how you'll know where this is in your device is you'll just come over here to projects, click the project button, and then you'll say open user data folder. Then you will find the folder where your data will be saved. So in Windows, it's in app data / all of this. And for your other apps, their saved data will also be in this folder. So you can just minimize this. So the basic process of saving we'll be doing is we'll be converting this into a text or a JSON text, and then we'll be saving that file or that text. And then for loading, we will be getting that text and then loading it. So JSON basically just looks like this dictionary. It's basically the exact same thing because this one is in JSON format. So if you already know how to use dictionaries, which I assume, and if you don't, you can go and look for a tutorial for that, or I might make one in the future. So subscribe to get notified of that one also. But JSON basically looks like this, and if you know how to use these dictionaries, you know how to use JSON. You don't really have to go and learn it. So we're going to convert this basically into a text, and then we're going to save it so we can get to the tutorial. So what I want to do when the save button is pressed, I'll just say var JSON. So this will hold the text is equal to JSON.stringify, and then we're going to just pass in the the object with the data we want to save. So with this we've basically converted this dictionary into a text, and now we can save it. So if I want to save it, what I'll do is I'll create a file and call it a variable called file, and then I'll just say file access.open. Then we're going to open up this path, the user path we created, and then we are going to say file access.write because we're writing onto the file. And then finally I'll say file.store string, and then the string I'll be storing will be this JSON file. So I'll be basically storing this text into the file, and then I can say file.close, and with that we've basically saved the data, and we can just run the project. And once you run the project and press save, if we go here to our save folder, we can see the data has been saved and the file was created. So our save.txt file, and the data has been saved. So can we load this data back? Yes, we can. So how we'll do that is we'll just minimize this, and we'll say when we press the load button, we'll just say var file is equal to file access.open, and then we are going to open up the same path where we saved. So this one over here we saved in, and then instead of opening in write mode, we're going to open it in the read mode. So file access.read because we're reading file data from it. And then finally, we are going to create another variable called text, which will be equal to the file.getAsText. So we'll be basically getting the entire file as a text, and with that we'll be getting the JSON string we just saved. And then finally we can just save our JSON dict, or the dictionary is equal to the JSON object dot parse string, and then we can pass in the JSON text that we just got. So with this, we've basically gotten the text which we saved in the file. So this one over here, we've gotten this text, so file.getAsText, and then we are converting that text into a dictionary with this function. So JSON.parseString converts a text into a dictionary, which we can use. And then finally we can even say like print JSON dict, or if we want to update our current player's data into the data that was saved, we can say something like this player object over here. So player is equal to the JSON dict, or we can even call this saved dictionary. So saved like dict, and you can maybe say like saved text, and then we can just pass this over here. So in programming, one of the hardest things to do is to name variables, but yeah, one of the hardest things to do is to name variables. So you can just like call this whatever you'd like, and we're basically done. So if I just print like, no, this is supposed to be saved dictionary. So basically I just renamed all of this to like saved text is equal to the file.getAsText, and this one to saved dictionary. So basically now the player's current data is equal to the dictionary saved. And then if we want to like print the dictionary, we can just say like print the data that we saved. And then if we run this project and we press load, we can see that it's printing the data that we saved. So with that, you can save data and load it, and you can use it in any of your projects or any of your games to save data. But to illustrate how it's not secure currently and why you need the next tutorial, when I open this save file and maybe like give myself like 1,000,000 HP, maybe I can change like the name to something like I have hacked this game, subscribe to this channel. If I change this data to something like that, this will be what's saved. And if I rerun my project and then just press load, you can see that the data has been changed. So the HP is like 1,000,000 and the name has been changed. So this method really isn't secure as it is. Or maybe if you want to have like open data, you can just add data that anybody can access or should be accessed by a different program. You can just leave it as it is, it's okay. But if you want for your games nobody to be able to like change their stats, you will have to encrypt it, and I will show you how to do that in the next video.